Here to talk about Hexblast, a different skill in which you have to curse the enemies and then use the Hexblast. And it's quite interesting and very different from the normal skills that you use to clear, and the single target damage is also very good. You basically need one item. It's mandatory that you have Vixen's Entrapment, because since the Hexblast relies on hexes, you really have to have as much hexes as you need in the target at the same time. So for that, Vixes itself allows you to apply an additional curse. Then you have the Malediction here, Whispers of Doom here, to have the maximum curses allowed. So you can see in the path of building that I have here, you have Despair, and you have in Vixens, you have Enfeeble, Temporal Chains, and Flammability. I use the Ignite version. You can have other types of versions, but the Ignite damage is pretty good. We use hexes, okay, hard casted hexes, Doom, the Impending Doom support, all together to create as much single target damage that will blast to other enemies as well. So if you see here in Hexblast, you can see that all damage can freeze, all damage can ignite, and all damage can shock. So you either create or you have the chances to do that, and that will be helped, of course, with curses as well. And also, you don't need chaos damage penetration, because chaos damage with hits is resisted by lowest resistance instead. It's really interesting. 40% more damage with hits per 5 Doom on Hex with most Doom, and removes Hex with most Doom after damage, which removes 1 Hex after the damage. You can keep recasting the Hexblast, but it's normally not necessary. And if you're facing a boss, you don't want that. You want all the curses to be so you cast the curses and then you Hexblast, and then you cast the curses and you Hexblast. And you can see here in the Vixen that will trigger the curses, because if you see here, the most important thing of the Vixen is that trigger socketed curse skill when you cast a curse skill. You don't need to cast all of those curses. They will spend mana when they cast, but you need only to hard cast your Despair setup. So your Despair setup will have the AoE. I like AoE to curse a lot of monsters at the same time so that the blast zone, like everything, will explode in a large area. Arcane Surge, because I need to have the buff, right? Every build that uses spell will benefit a lot with Arcane Surge. You don't know that? Know that. And Impending Doom. Impending Doom is both in the Despair setup and in the Vixen setup, because Impending Doom is another very interesting support. You can see here, trigger Doom Blast when a hex from supported curse skill ends. So Doom Blast, you can see here, that deals a lot of chaos damage and more damage with Doom and more damage per 5 Doom. It's another thing. So it's a secondary damage. When you have the Hexblast damage and the Impending Doom damage of all the curses all together, single target damage gets really decent. So those are the mechanics. And all you have to do is that you have to invest in Doom. All of the Doom that you can. So you come here with hexes you inflict have +10 to maximum Doom. Okay, very interesting. So that your Doom can get to 40. Then you have hexes have 50% increased Doom gain rate. And then you come here with another Doom gain rate, okay, 50% more. And then you have 50% more here with 150. And then you have this one here. Hexes you inflict have +4 Doom, so they start with 4 Doom, and 20% increased damage hits enemies against cursed enemies. And of course, you want that here too. Increase AoE of hex skills, and hex skills have 100% increased skill effect duration. So this is really interesting, because with all the Doom that you can, and cast speed, some nodes have cast speed for Doom and effect of curses, it gets really comfortable to just cast and Hexblast, cast and Hexblast. All you have to do is keep casting the Despair setup and then Hexblasting. So automatically the Vixen setup will be triggered, and the both Impending Dooms will be working together with the Hexblast damage. Everything works really fine. And that's it. Enjoy. For defenses on this build, I used Energy Shield here, basically with low life. I'm using chevrons here. So you can really see that I'm using a lot of uniques in this one here. Prism Guardian because I'm low life, chevrons, Vixen's Entrapment, and then Syntrack, and Lori's Lantern. Lori's Lantern is good for low life builds. And there's another thing that you have to be very aware. You have to have mana pool. In here, I have 23% unreserved mana, which takes me to 384. So you see that my Despair costs 29 mana. And then with the Vixen, you have Flammability costing 50, Enfeeble 33, and then Temporal Change 33, which takes us to 149 mana every time that we cast Despair, because the triggers now cost mana, basically. You need to have that. And you need to have Clarity, you need to have the 10% chance to recover 10% of mana when you use a skill. And together with their natural mana regen and the arcane surge, everything just fits together very well in a very good way, so you're never running out of mana. It just cannot use all your mana. I use Clarity, Discipline, Defiance Banner, Skitter Bots for freezing and shocking, Flesh and Stone because I'm using Grace, right? So it's more defenses, so why not? Zealotry, Determination, and Grace. That's what low life allows you to do. You get 78% evade chance, you have a lot of physical damage reduction. It's amazing. It's a very defensive build, very offensive, and you're going to be very comfortable facing every single boss in the game. You just curse, explode, curse, explode, curse, explode. Enjoy. I hope that you enjoy. Please subscribe for more, and thank you for your strength. I see you in the next video.